The conversation around church hurt, around church abuse is extremely prevalent, especially in today. And a lot of times, I'll be honest with you, there's some horrible horror stories that come out when you hear people's experience in certain camps. But sometimes you also hear things that don't sound like church hurt at all. And I think those things need to be addressed as well, which is a thread that I found on an amazing Instagram channel called Raised to Stay. All right, Raised to Stay. And this is a dope thread that I wanted to cover with you guys. I'll read you guys the caption in a moment, but let's just go through these. Accountability is not church hurt. Accountability is not church hurt. Being held to a holy standard is not gaslighting. If your pastor or your youth leader or an elder in your church, where someone finds out that, look, you're single and you're sleeping with your girlfriend, and they tell you don't do that, that's not okay. You are in sin. You need to repent. Friends, that is not church hurt, and that is not gaslighting. Okay? But you best believe I know a lot of people in my, and this is why I've struggled with leading in a local ministry capacity, because I don't pull no punches. If we're in community together and you're acting like an idiot and you're sinning, I'm going to tell you the truth, as I expect you to tell me as well. And people will have more often than not, when they've been confronted, when they've been told you need to repent, when they told this is inappropriate, will react in this sort of way. Oh, you hurt my feelings. You gaslighting me. It's like, bro, no, there's a standard of holiness that we're all called to. And if you see areas in my life, then you need to tell me about them, right? It's not church hurt. It's not spiritual abuse. Being sat down to grow up isn't abuse. Being sat down to grow up isn't abuse. Come on, somebody. Be thankful people have loved you enough to not let you act like a fool. The enemy wants you offended by those God has called to protect you. Man, this is good. Be thankful people loved you enough to not let you act like a fool. People will then say, well, I know they love me, but I just don't like the way they said it. So then it becomes about tone. It's not about intent. It's not about the words that are being said. Well, I just, when you were talking, like, you had this, like, you were telling me that, like, I'm in sin in this area, and I know I'm in sin, but, like, when you were talking, like, your eyebrow did this thing, and this thing on, like, your body language, and your eyebrow did this thing, and the tone, like, your inflection was like you were just very, like, and it just made me feel very shamed and condemned. So we're not talking about the intent of what's being said, which is, hey, I love you. I don't want you to self-destruct. We're not talking about what's the words that are coming out of my mouth. We're talking about vibes. We're talking about vibes and how they made you feel, and body language and inflections, and you reading between the lines. Hey, you want to see something kind of crazy? Over 75% of the people that watch this channel are not subscribed. Please consider subscribing and turning your bell notification on so that you don't miss anything we have going here. All right? Peace. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. And you get, can you tell I've dealt with a lot of this firsthand? Can you tell I've dealt with a lot of it? Oh my goodness. We started a young adults ministry in 2013 when I was on staff at my church, man. Every Sunday I'd have to teach. I'd have to be in charge of the leaders, and people are messy. And some folks just have a greater capacity to shepherd and love people through all that. I just like, look, bro, you got to stop. You got to stop boning your girlfriend. You can't bone your girlfriend and be on the worship team. Those two things cannot coexist. You can't be sleeping with somebody on a worship team and then getting up every Sunday and leading worship. You can't do that. Those two cannot. Nope, you can't do that. Well, I feel like, bro, I don't feel very loved and covered. No, you got to repent, my guy. Yeah. Don't run from covering. We all have a target on our back, and it's open season on the family of God. Stay where you are protected. Listen, one of my biggest wins here when I talk to you guys is that I really hope that those of you guys that watch this channel that aren't in a church would hear about a pastor or hear about me going to a ministry, that you guys is hopefully in your area, and that would inspire you to go check out that church. I am so big on Christians not being orphans and getting plugged into churches. I think it is the biggest win for me, is if someone could, from my channel, find a local church, get plugged in, get discipled. It's the thing that brings me the most amount of joy, if I'm honest with you guys. Families getting plugged into churches, people getting plugged into churches, people getting discipled. It's huge. Don't be the type of Christian that's a Lone Ranger Christian. You think you're Rambo in the wilderness by yourself, no accountability, trying to take on the world. Like, it's not it. That's not it. It's not it. Let me read the caption here, because I think the caption has some value as well. It says, if you're new to this space, it's possible you saw someone share a black box that either ministered to you or made you extremely angry or uncomfortable. I often feel both as I write them. In May, there were 4,000 of us, and then in July, 10,000, and then I posted this. So for those of you who are asking how this account has grown so quickly, it's a combination of God's amplification of my weary words, the willingness to have hard and holy conversations, and deep love for the church, as well as a hot justice button for the abused and cast out. This post is not clickbait. The post is not defending abusers. It is, however, challenging mature Christ followers who have not been sexually or spiritually or emotionally abused to higher standards of holiness and accountability. This is opposed to mature believers. I wrote it for the 23-year-old me who wanted the Lord to give me the nations but didn't want to hear the word. No. Come on. Ironing sharpening. I love this. I love this whole breakdown, man. Hopefully it challenges you. Hopefully it encourages you. Do not forsake the fellowship of the saints. Do not forsake gathering. Don't do that. You're only playing yourself. You're only playing yourself. Are you going to read Race to Stay? I think it's dropping soon. Race to Stay? What are you talking about? Oh, the book? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Shout out to Race to Stay. Here's the Instagram profile. All right. It's ran by Natalie Thomas. Amazing. A ministry to challenge the church and champion the saints. I love it. And there's a book coming out about this, apparently. All right. So kudos to her. Kudos to her. Hey, this is a segment from our daily after party stream. Consider partnering with us online for as little as $5 a month to get access to these daily after party streams completely unedited. You'll also get access to our podcast as they are streamed live into the community before anyone else gets to see them, get to interact with our guests, get access to our private Discord server, and a discount code for our store for as little as $5 a month. Ultimately, that will help towards helping us continue contextualizing the gospel using media and podcast here on YouTube. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.